Most tech reviewers are going to tell you this new Roku stick is faster and supports better Wi-Fi. That is lazy reviewing. Of course, it's faster. It's 2025. The real question, the one nobody seems to be asking, is whether Roku has finally fixed the three massive annoyances that made us all consider switching to Google TV or Apple TV last year. I've spent the last 2 weeks torturing the Roku Streaming Stick 4K 2025 edition. I've run it on terrible hotel Wi-Fi. I've tested it against the $150 Apple TV, and I found a hidden audio setting that actually saves you money on a soundbar. But I also found one upgrade that is purely a marketing scam. Let's rip this thing open and see if it's actually worth your money. First, the unboxing, and more importantly, the design philosophy. Roku has finally ditched the ancient micro USB power port. We are looking at USB-C power delivery. Why does this matter to you? It means if you lose the cable, you can literally use the same charger you use for your phone or laptop. You don't need to hunt for that one cable from 2014 anymore. However, they kept the long-range receiver built into the power cable itself. Do not lose this specific cable. If you swap it out for a generic USB-C cable, your Wi-Fi range will drop by about 40%. I tested this. With the official cable, I got full signal in my basement through 2 concrete walls. With a generic cable, it buffered every 30 seconds. Keep the cable. Let's talk performance. The box says, new quad-core processor. That means nothing. Here is what it feels like. On the old stick, you click Netflix and you wait. 1, 2, 3 seconds. You see the spinning circle. On this 2025 model, it is instant. I'm talking muscle memory fast. I clicked YouTube and the video was playing before I could even put the remote down. If you are someone who rapidly switches between Hulu, Netflix, and Plex, this feels butter smooth. But here is the information gap other reviews are missing. They talk about 4K and HDR 10+. Great, but the new feature here is AI-driven upscaling for non-4K content. I watched an old episode of The Office streamed in 108p and the stick sharpened the edges and corrected it in real time. It doesn't look like fake soapy motion smoothing. It just looks crisp. If you watch a lot of older content or YouTube videos that aren't in 4K, this feature alone is worth the upgrade. Now, we have to address the honesty gap. The user interface. Roku has always been the simple option. A grid of apps, no clutter. That is changing, and not for the better. The home screen is now roughly 30% advertisements. The right third of your screen is a massive billboard for movies Roku wants you to rent. And even worse, I found lag when scrolling past these ads. The hardware is powerful, but the software is bloated. If you are buying this for an elderly parent because Roku is simple, think twice. It is getting harder to tell the difference between an installed app and a sponsored recommendation. Let's talk about the remote, because this is where Roku usually wins. The 2025 stick comes with the Voice Remote Pro V3. It is rechargeable, which is great. It has backlit buttons, which is essential for movie nights. But the killer feature here is the lost remote finder that actually works. You press a button on the stick or use the app, and the remote screams at you. But here is the hidden feature I mentioned earlier, deep in the audio settings. Under Accessibility, there is a new toggle called Dialogue Isolation Level 3. I tested this against a $200 Samsung soundbar. I turned the soundbar off and just used the TV speakers with this Roku setting on. It uses the stick's processing power to drop the bass and boost the vocal frequencies. It made muddy dialogue crystal clear. If you have trouble hearing voices in Christopher Nolan movies, you do not need a new soundbar. You just need to flip this switch. It is genuinely magic. So, the killer comparison. Who is this for? If you are looking at the Fire TV Stick 4K Max, you are choosing between ads and more ads. But Amazon's interface is chaotic. Roku is still cleaner, even with the new bloat. If you are looking at the Chromecast with Google TV, that device is smarter. It gives you better recommendations, but it is also slower. The Roku 2025 smokes the Google TV stick in raw speed. If you are looking at the Apple TV 4K, the Apple TV is still the king of picture quality and zero ads, but it costs 3 times as much. Here is the verdict. Is the Roku Streaming Stick 2025 worth it? If you are still using a Roku from 2021 or earlier, the ones that do unsupport Dolby Vision, or feel sluggish by this immediately. The speed increase, the USB-C, and the Wi-Fi stability are massive quality of life upgrades. However, if you have the 2023 4K Plus model, do not upgrade. The AI upscaling is nice, but it is not worth $50. And honestly, the increase in home screen ads is a major turnoff. Roku has built a piece of hardware that is technically brilliant, but they are slowly ruining the software experience with greed. It's the best stick on the market for speed, but enjoy that clean interface while it lasts, because it is fading fast. Let me know in the comments, does the ad bloat bother you, or do you just ignore it? I'll see you in the next one.